tend to be interesting.
Do you want to talk about the Goblin King Ball?
Oh,
All the
very
things that you're going to
excited
do
for that.
about it?
I have no idea what it's going to be like.
I need you to share with me all of the pictures. I want to see. Well, obviously, I need to see like you guys and what you end up as.
Yeah.
But then also, I want to know how, because I feel like there's got to be some people who really get into this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I think we didn't describe this in any like previous episode, right? Yeah.
You're going to David Bowie's ball.
A few of us are, going to a ball styled after
dead.
Labyrinth featuring David Bowie at a freaking castle.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Cool. So no idea how that's going to go, but
so we've all got fancy outfits, and we're gonna immediately after this go get ready and then go drive for an hour. So that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Are you guys getting dressed there? Or are
No.
you going to? So you're going to be driving that in the full hour in like your whole regalia?
Well, I'm probably gonna leave the Starry Night cloak off and the mask off for visibility purposes.
That's
until
probably a
we
good
get
idea.
there. But yeah, no, all the rest of it, I will be
a
wearing.
Masquerade ball.
It is.
too.
Masquerade ball.
Yes. Very exciting. I've got silver glitter and glitter glue because my house has already become glitterified from the aforementioned making of the cloak.
Glitter has already overtaken
Everywhere.
your house.
Oh,
So
it's like in the grains of my kitchen table.
It's never
Mike
leaving.
just looks down at that. He's like, sad. I'm like, yep, this is our life now, buddy.
You own this house, and 10 years from now, you'll look down and be like,
There's still
I remember
glitter.
when I made that when I made that cape.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah, you'll have to report back and tell us how much we missed out.
Hella, I'm hoping.
Hopefully, they
You know what?
all
I'll
contact
be
Chuck
I'll be quite happy. Going to bed early for once this week. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you up too late last night, Jeff?
I was being one half of a Princess Bride costume and drinking quite a bit of alcohol and too much candy.
At a non-specific location.
At a non-specific location that may or may not have been covered in glitter.
I love that.
Anyway,
Shall we?
welcome back to the 7 Star of the Right podcast. This is session 7878. How you guys doing this fine Saturday afternoon?
Good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wanted to add a
About
little
the
more
same.
jaunt this time around rather than just go right into it.
Yeah.
You guys doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of notes from last time. There's a lot of notes from last time.
I've been throwing it's been basically
so
all
much information, and I've been
Information.
writing it down like a good note taker.
Turns out when there's a murder mystery,
afoot.
you want to have all of the clues so that you know which ones are like the right ones to kind of focus on.
That's
so you
right.
can tell the whole story, especially when you care about the person that you're trying to save, but you don't.
We don't.
You don't.
Well-
In fact, it's kind of like a win-win situation for you guys,
That it
right? You
is.
solve it and you get him back and some of the
Kill him
information that
anyway.
he knows. Or he dies and now you're free of Tony.
That's right.
Yeah. They release him to our custody, and then we could satisfy our darker.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So I'm sure you all remember what happened last time.
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Kirsten, do you want to just
Yeah. Okay.
maybe don't have to go into every single one of the clues,
I'll
but
do
maybe the ones
I'll
that you think are the most relevant.
do the overview. Okay. So we encountered a VI that appears to be a partial copy of Drikt's brain. From 5 days ago, which was the day before he was murdered. So said VI was not able to tell us anything about the murder, but by questioning him, we did manage to obtain like a time of death and also vague Drikt goals. Drikt wants to create true AI in order to bring back Dr. Samantha Calvin and Dr. Kyle Reed, both of whom are presumed to kind of be in a thing called a mind seed. That is most likely the thing that is in the ring that I own that is on lockdown. There is a second laboratory in Neo Opus, which I guess I'm assuming is a functioning city on the planet, but I guess we never actually ascertained that.
I think that this was actually mentioned a little bit a ways ago by Tony.
Sure.
He wants to go into Neo Opus as well and access a library there.
Okay, cool.
It is currently in the nanite field, though.
Gotcha. That's what, okay.
And needed a map in order to, safely traverse it.
Yeah, which we have.
Which you have now.
Which we have now.
But you haven't told Tony. In fact, the only information that you've given Tony from what you have, the information that you have obtained is Alex poking his head in and kind of just giving like a head shake and a thumbs down.
Yeah, so Drikt may or may not have known things about how to fix Terra, could not ascertain any of that information. The lab in Neo Opus has a core printing device which must be used by a telekinetic person in order to create a true AI. The liquid that we found in the jars in the box is in fact AI core creating liquid, and it came from the Silverlight systems in the Iglani system. Iglani system from the planet Aeon.
Aeon, yeah.
Look at me taking notes. Okay, so we also found a long black hair and a empty syringe of squeal, which is kind of a truth-telling serum sort of deal. So the current running theory is that Drikt went into crystalline form early in order to protect the knowledge of something he knows. The VI thinks it's the base location in Neo Opus, but we haven't super confirmed that. And then presumably the person who was trying to find this information then shattered Drikt's crystalline form, killing him permanently, and then also maybe found notes on True AI in the desk and took those with them. We went back to the station. We shared most of this information with Garnet Vox and Ruby Flux. Neither of them, I believe, are currently aware that we are in possession of the VI copy of Drikt. And he was very good and did not say a bunch of things while we were hanging out, even though I didn't explicitly tell him not to. So thanks for that.
It's fine.
No one asked any questions about
That's right.
Life, yeah.
I'm sorry, my responses are limited. And then we were going to go talk to... Oh, we talked to Garnet Vox one more time about the box. Mm-hmm. And specifically transporting the box of liquids to Drikt's residence. It was very heavy. Current running theory is that something or someone was inside of that box, and evidence on the box seems to indicate that it was broken out of, like it was opened from the inside as opposed to the outside. And now we are going to go talk to Beaker and Crux, who are both opals, which is a lower level than a ruby or a garnet, about what was going on in the shipyard on the day of the murder. Oh, we also ascertained that the murder was committed at 3:56 p.m., most likely because that's when the VI came online, which partially exonerates Tony because Tony wasn't there until 10.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. That is a lot of information.
Yep.
And I think that was all of the relevant stuff. Or if it wasn't, I'm not telling because this is a mystery. Yes. So you guys were going to check up on the stories of the opals.
That's right.
Beaker and Crux. We ended last time as you all were approaching them.
That's right.
And so we will step in from there. And so you approach and they go, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
And what does Beaker say?
"Hey guys."
You know,
It does little finger guns.
Amazing. Love that.
Hey.
It says that out and does little finger guns.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hi. I don't know what time it is.
Does anyone?
Nor do we.
Wonderful.
But I think we're off in 3 hours.
Got you. Well, then, in that case, good limbo. Hi. You were here when like we're like running around and asking questions. I don't know how
Oh yeah, we know what's up or who's down.
That's what I thought, but I just kind of wanted to make sure. Because if you were like, if I asked that and you were super weirded out, I would have, I don't know, like left.
No, yeah,
We're
we are members of the honor guard for Drikt, and kind of royally screwed that pooch.
Well, to be fair, he was doing a lot of stuff he shouldn't have been, so...
I don't know if that necessarily exonerates his honor guard from not, honorarily guarding him.
Sick.
Cool.
So
anyway.
Yeah, so we're here to ask a little bit, a couple of questions about like the day that, the events took place. Do you want to just kind of go over your day? Just what we're looking for is a rough estimate of like any ships that came in, anything that you remember. And we know that there was a shipment that arrived in the afternoon. So anything that you have, or in the morning, sorry. So anything you remember around then.
Yeah, and Beaker starts the conversation saying,
Yeah, I started the day in the shipyard. I had the morning shift that day. We had a couple of ships come and go. The Laughing Devil over there, a ship from Silverlight Systems by the name of Pulsar. A couple of other nondescript ones. They didn't really do anything other than fuel up and drop off some various, courier goods. The Pulsar dropped off a package for Drikt. I notified Vox over there. Vox took the shipment from the shipyard to Drikt's residence. I worked with the woman courier by the name of Sept.
Cool.
I'm sorry, what?
Sept.
Excellent.
That was her name?
Sept.
Like
Yeah.
7 in old,
Roughly,
old
yes.
tongue.
Yeah,
If you-
yeah. Sept. That was how she signed and he like procures like a little sign in sheet and says, "Yeah, Sept. You see right there. Signed in during that. They need some. There was a payment that had to go through, so they waited around.
Until
and,
how long?
a little after 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
How would you describe the handwriting that says Sept, Jeff?
the
Would you describe it as,
boxy?
is it perhaps perfect?
It looks like as if it was printed onto the page. It was handwritten. In fact, it was a signature, so it is cursive.
Wow.
But it is fairly nice signature.
Okay.
Do you guys like?
Although, hold on, I didn't do the sign out.
I'm not done.
I'm not
fucking
done.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everyone shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm the one telling the story here.
Trying to make it look fake.
It was not actually the one who obtained the or saw them go. That was Crux. We switched at lunch.
Got it.
So
Got you.
they arrived in the morning, stuck
Yes.
around until 5, and
Yes.
then
They had to get refueling, some additional work on their engine system, and then additionally the payment was a little bit larger than normal, so we had to go through some special channels to get that payment to them.
Got
And so
you.
they were just waiting for the arrival of that payment before leaving.
you keep saying they, but there was a singular person.
Yes, sorry, the woman there, the woman courier,
Gotcha.
Sept.
I just didn't want to misgender them.
Yeah. No, and then I'm gonna because I'm assuming Crux is standing here too.
Yeah, I'm standing here
Cool.
as
Cool,
well.
Cool.
It's a slightly different torque now.
How many people left on the Pulsar?
One.
Okay.
I mean, we don't, people come in, we see the people who walk out. We don't do like routine inspections of the entire thing. It's very possible there may have been someone else on board. It was only Sept that we directly interacted with, though.
I see. Yeah, I was going to ask what your like security procedures were, if any, but it's just kind of you hail them like you did with us, just a hail. There's no extra scans that go into it.
The additional security happens if they were to leave the shipyard.
I see. Oh, so the courier did not leave the shipyard after disembarking? Stayed in the area? Or was under watch the whole time?
That's correct. According to our records, Sept never left the shipyard.
And at that, you see like Garnet Vox kind of
Or did
tilt
I?
his head and say,
No, I definitely ran into Sept while she was walking around. She got a little lost, and I brought her back to the shipyard after she got the accounts payable, and that's when we saw her off, right?
and then at that, Beaker and Crux go,
No. She was here at.
and this is Beaker speaking.
She was having. She was definitely here before lunch, and she didn't leave. We chatted quite often,
And then Crux speaks up and says,
yeah. I was talking to her a little bit about the Aglaney system and what she kind of does there a little after lunch. I mean, I had other things I had to check.
Great.
and they're all kind of like looking at each other. Says,
Okay.
And Vox says,
No, I definitely escorted her back to the shipyard.
Okay, no,
around,
definitely. So let's go ahead and establish the timeline. So the ship arrived. Do we have like a rough time estimate on when that got here?
Beaker flips through the ship log and says,
It seems like it landed here around 11 in the morning.
Okay. And when did it leave?
5 in the afternoon.
Okay. When did the courier leave the ship? And I'm just at this point referring to the Opals, and I'll ask you soon afterwards, Garnet. But around what time were you conversing with Sept while waiting for the payment?
I was, I mean, I couldn't have been there too long. We probably talked for about 30 minutes around, 11:30 to 12. That's when I got off onto my lunch break. And then you came, right? Yeah. Then I came and she was still there waiting for payments and refueling. We chatted. I definitely saw her in the span of, 3:30.
Okay. And just to make sure, Bika, did you wait for Crux to show up before you left? Right. So it's like a direct kind of handoff, or was it, or did you go away and then like?
and Vox kind of like steps behind you and says, yeah, did you guys, see the other person as you handed off? And Beaker, kind of scratches the back of his neck and says,
Well, it was lunchtime and I was hungry and
Yeah, no.
and he kind of shoves Crux like,
this guy was late. Like, I wasn't late. I was only late by a minute or so. And then
they kind of like go back and forth. And
Okay. So, Bika, what time did you leave?
I left when my shift
Of course.
ended.
What time was that?
Noon.
Okay. Crux, around what time did you arrive?
12:05.
Okay. No, write down like 12:10, 12:15.
Right.
Great. No problem. Just establishing timelines. And okay, cool. And then Crux, after you arrived, you had eyes on Sept until she left, or around what time?
I was in the shipyard and stationed, at the entrance. I saw her definitely 3:30. We were chatting. I remember seeing her outside the ship again around 4:30 as I was coming back around, for my rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, she's back at the ship at around 4:30. Okay, so there's like an hour of uncounted time. That's fine. Garnet. So I think that establishes kind of the time. When did you encounter Sept in the city? Did you have a rough estimate? Which is kind of like a ballpark would be great.
I ran into her probably around 4:15, 4:20. That's when I escorted
Hell
her
yeah.
back to the shipyard.
Sick. Where in the city were you?
We were probably about, I don't know, 5-10 minute walk away from the shipyard. She had mentioned that she needed to go to accounts payable and, get the check there because they were having trouble with it, with the whole monetary, thing.
Great. Do you think you'd be able to walk us to where you saw her once we're done here?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else we want to do here?
What color is Sep's hair?
And at that, like, they all kind of look at each other and says,
I don't know. She's wearing a hat. Yeah, she was definitely wearing a hat. Ponytail? Ponytail. Yeah, ponytail. Brown? No, it was black. Black? No, it was auburn? No, it was definitely not bright.
I'm gonna look
Dark
over
hair.
at Garnet Vox as well and say, same question.
I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't really pay attention to your guys' hair. Sorry.
Was she wearing a hat / ponytail?
Hat, ponytail. Sounds about right.
All right. One other random question for you guys. A little curiosity. When you guys get shipments in here, how does that work? This sounds like this is like an expensive thing that like she had to go through these extra channels to get the payments. Do you guys like weigh your crates? Do you do any kind of like confirming what's there before you just send it off to Drikt, or does it just kind of go just like that?
We do some basic, weighing and stuff like that just to verify, like, take some, like, what it was meant to be and the weight of it and stuff like that. But
And that weight looked normal?
I mean, I don't think they knew what was in it. My guess would be that.
Fair enough. Do you have that readout?
we didn't know what the contents of it was. Drikt was pretty secretive about it.
Okay. I'm just curious if we could maybe have a look at what that weight was.
yeah, absolutely. And they again go through like some of the logs that they have, and they point out, yep, there was a crate that matches the description of the one that you found in Drikt's workshop. As for like the specific weight, I'm not entirely sure what you're looking for.
No, sure. Essentially, like
I mean, I have one of the jars. We could math this out if we wanted to.
Yeah,
and
this
be
line of
like,
questioning is
this
just
crate
about,
containing this many jars. Here's the volume of it. Here's how much this weighs, et cetera, and so forth. I'm not 100% sure we want to do that because I don't know if we want to reveal that we have the jar, but we do have it.
No, this whole line of questioning was not even to like get a precise thing, but just kind of get a ballpark idea. We have the crate with most of the jars still in it back there. If we wanted to, we could see, is there enough discrepancy that there's like a person in here or not?
I'm gonna not have to go through all of these hoops where you go back and count the number of jars and then weigh the jar that you have.
Just some back of the envelope, like no to math.
Yeah, no. Like this
Let
is,
the
you
robot be
are
good
a
at math.
supercomputer.
Yes.
You can, and you say like, okay, this is about this much. These are how many jars were in there, including the broken one that we saw, so on and so forth. You add up, and there is a discrepancy.
Yeah. I'm going to share that information with the entire group.
Even like Vox, Beaker, and Crux.
I think so, yes. I'm going to say, well, based on what we found in the house, sort of knowing what I know, this is too heavy, right?
Yes.
It's too heavy.
It's heavier than you would have expected.
Aren't we all?
Oh.
That was meant to be a robot joke, but I guess it could also be a
But then it was human joke.
it was human sad instead. Okay, cool.
This information is met with like puzzlement.
Yeah.
And at that, Beaker speaks up and says, but I definitely checked that crate. It was hermetically sealed. There was no, like, air wasn't meant to go into that, like, I don't know what else could have been in there. Maybe, I don't know, something it was taken out by, do you know what else may have been in there? Maybe it was taken out by Drikt.
It could be.
We didn't find anything in the house.
But gentlemen, that's why it's a mystery.
Right.
Great job. Great joke.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if we want to tell them about this right now, but I think we've pretty much wrapped this up.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna, take a
Okay.
moment to confer, maybe.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all we were interested in. Thanks, guys.
Just give me one moment. We go over
Or
in the
we
corner. We do
have
the
a little
whisper,
chat.
whisper, whisper. Look up at them. Whisper, whisper.
I assume.
Open fire.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
In fact, Vox will let you guys kind of walk off to you're still in the shipyard. You haven't left yet, and he's going to give a talking to Beaker and Crux.
Right. So Octavia in the box. Everybody, Octavia in the box.
I'm sorry. Can someone bring me up to speed on?
Oh yes.
No.
I'm sorry. Leave me in the dark. What about me though?
Claire can stay.
Here, Claire, just
Oh, okay.
Actually, I want
What
Claire
about Drikt?
to. I want Claire to lead the discussion. I think this is a good learning. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I hate that shit.
yeah, right. Yes. So
That makes sense.
So,
AIs created by Dr. Samantha Calvin have a naming convention where all of their names are roughly associated with numbers. Deacon being 10, myself, Nona, being 9.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quinn being 5
Exactly.
and Senna 6.
That's right. And so we're missing 7 and 8. Yes, who were referred to in Deacon's notes as Septima and Octavia and are dual cores, meaning that they...
I think it's binary cores.
Oh, is it binary? Okay, fair enough. Binary cores, and mentioned something about neither of them being able to be too far apart from each other. I was assuming this was a little bit more of a, within 5 feet, but now it seems like maybe it's within the same city.
Few kilometers.
Yeah, sort of thing. So, given that they were sort of made at the same time, one might presume that they look very similar to each other.
Makes sense.
yeah. And, if Octavia presumably was inside that box, that would line up with the weight discrepancy, wouldn't need to breathe, so the ceiling wouldn't be a problem. It's kind of the line of thinking right now.
I don't know how we tell them this.
How do we reveal this information?
I have no idea.
That we
No
think
idea.
that there was a true AI hiding in the box.
We don't need to necessarily say true AI.
But a robot.
Murder
hiding in the
robot.
box.
VI.
Murder
Murder
robot.
robot.
Murder bots.
Murder.
VI assassins.
VI assassins hiding in the
Yes.
box.
Disguised as the courier that dropped the box off, such that
But
when...
if Vox was talking to it, though, wouldn't it be too obvious if that was a VI?
yeah, probably.
I don't know. EDI is weirdly convincing sometimes.
Meanwhile, you look over at the Phoenix through one of the windows.
The guy's,
and he
standing
just kind
out
of
the window.
waving at you guys.
He does. This whole time he can read lips. He knows what's up. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Like has a knife.
Hey, good job.
Big thumbs up. Cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we know what happened. I don't know how we revealed this information to the rest of this without...
Yeah.
That's kind of a big problem.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all conjecture. It's also consensual at the moment. But if we can, it makes sense. It's to us, the true AI thing is weird.
Oh, I just had a thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Micah, with your psychic abilities, specifically the bubble thing you do over yourself.
My pressure field?
That's
yes.
a good call
Would
out.
you be able to exist in that box?
Oh.
You've been in space.
Yeah.
And even if not, could we blame it on psychics anyway?
This
I'm
got
not
weird.
comfortable with that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So actually, Jeff, this is a little bit up to you, I guess, because my understanding of my pressure field is it can pressurize thin atmospheres, and so maybe that would count.
I was under the
there's
impression that you could also do it with a lack of atmosphere.
Yeah, it's vaguely worded, which is annoying.
I'm gonna say, like, you've been able to do like spacewalks with this pressure field. I'm gonna allow
All right.
it.
Okay.
I don't
So,
think
yeah.
you could do it definitely, but I do think that for like a short period of time, you absolutely could do it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that is totally true. I would be able to be in that kind of like limited oxygen space for like a decent amount of time. So
For enough time to go from a ship into
A building.
a building, wait around for a bit, bust out. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so
could we say
blame
that?
blame it on psychics writ large. Maybe we won't phrase it that way.
No,
but
no.
Yeah,
I don't
but yeah,
want to talk
Particular
at all.
Twin.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, twin,
I'm
and
actually-
one of them's a psychic.
do we bother even like mentioning the twin thing? Because that makes sense to us, but I feel like
I think they
I
have
think there
already
needs to be-
seen two
that
of them in
there's
different
something
locations
fucky.
at the same time.
All
I
right,
think
yeah.
the thing that who Garnet Vox ran into was not in fact Sept, but was in fact Octavia leading.
oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And I think we have confirmation of them seeing two. When we established the timeline, there was like the 30-minute gap where Crux would have seen Sept while Garnet Vox was seeing Sept. So twins,
Yeah.
twins,
Yeah,
twinning.
sure. So
Can someone
Yeah,
who's better
psychic
at
twins.
lying explain this?
Claire.
Is Claire good at
oh,
lying?
yeah, don't
Am
worry,
I
I'm a people
good at lying?
Oh no!
I don't know,
Please
maybe.
no! Please no, my God.
Yeah, I think that's good. I do want to see where Garnet Vox picked up Octavia, right? That's
Yes.
the name. Just to look around there, see if there's like anything else. Maybe retrace the steps to the building. We find a ditched murder weapon kind of situation. That'd be the nail in the coffin. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. I'm on board for this.
All right.
I'm sorry, nail in the coffin was very very poor choice of words.
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, break.
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 And so you return to Vox, who is giving an earful to Crux and Beaker in this kind of low monotone that I'm not going to do right now.
Yes, excellent.
But you approach, and he turns to you, and the Beaker and Crux seem a little relieved that you have rejoined the conversation. He says, "We going somewhere next?"
Yeah, we'd like to see where you saw Sept and walked her back to the shipyard.
Yeah, could do that.
Great.
He starts kind of leading the way. You
I-
notice, yeah, the path that you take is a very familiar path. It's one where, again, actually, it's not too far in the distance that you see, Drikt's workshop. He says,
Found her walking along the road here, coming back from accounts payable.
and he kind of like gestures down a little bit farther down the road,
Mhm.
kind of past Drikt's workshop. But
Yeah. She seemed to be a little lost, so ran into her. She was a little nervous, and I was like, let's go this way, and this is where the shipyard is. She's very thankful and brought her back to the shipyard.
Cool.
Great.
So we look for murder weapons.
yes. So you guys are taking a look along this. The road itself is, a lot of like broken up asphalt. It's very clear that this used to be some kind of town of some description, but a lot of buildings have just decayed from time, but some of which have like the infrastructural parts have been kind of repurposed for some of these other buildings. And so you take a look around this broken asphalt, and there are various bushes on either side. They're not super well kept. It's mostly just kind of a little overgrown. Can I have you guys make like a wisdom notice check?
Can I do intelligence notice? Because I'm looking for a specific
Sure, yeah.
thing.
Intelligence or wisdom notice check.
Ooh.
In that case, 9.
11.
Sorry, I'm pulling up a bunch of shit.
No worries.
12.
Damn it! How do you keep doing this?
I have a 2 in notice and a 1 in intelligence.
Fair enough.
And then
fair
I rolled
enough.
3d6 and dropped the lowest on notice checks.
Okay, right. You notice things and you talk, right?
Yeah, and I heal
And you know.
sometimes.
You guys take a moment to take a look around and look in some of the bushes that kind of line the street. Alex, you catch a glint of something out of the corner of your eye, and as you push,
My eyes.
oh, your eyes!
This is supposed to be my glint.
You pull back the branches of a couple of bushes and weeds, and you see a familiar device, one that you saw on Fistos, and that I was going to say Kirsten, but
No,
it's not Kirsten.
it's
It's
Nona.
Nona. Nona has in her possession a core-shattering device.
Okay. Everyone, Gundit Vox too, I guess, can all come over. We have something fun. I have found a murder weapon. All right, let's be fair and say potential murder weapon.
Vox kind of squints his eyes at this device and says, "Never seen anything like this. What is that?"
Blunt object, lots of force behind it.
I think it's also got like a poke bit on it too, right?
It
Has a
does.
trigger there.
Yeah.
It's a captive bolt pistol with like basically a sharp point at the end of it.
Yeah. Well, it's a weapon, almost, definitely.
We should get this and bring it back to Flux.
Yeah. I don't want to touch it. So
Thank you. Zoop. Levitate it up.
And Micah just kind of like pulls it out of the bushes. You notice that it's fairly clean for have been out here 4 days. Nothing's like grown over it.
Is there anything on the tip of it?
Not that you can see with your naked eye,
Cool.
but perhaps under greater inspection, maybe.
Quick, back to the station. Yeah. Do we have anything else we want to do around here?
How far is this place from Drikt's house?
Pretty damn close.
The bush that you found it in, or that I should say Alex found it in, is part of like it was an intersection, right? There was an intersection. There's a main road that kind of goes farther into Jimena, and then the off road that you kind of found this device in the bush leads off to a few of the abodes, one of which is Drikt's house.
All right.
Yeah.
Fits expectations.
That's right. Our theory has predictive powers. It's starting to look pretty good.
All right, I guess let's get this weapon checked out.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we do that. There's nothing anybody else wants to do, right?
That was pretty much what we were looking for out here.
that seems right, yeah. I don't think there's anything else to do.
All right.
Cool.
So you guys head back to the station, or what is kind of being used as the police station.
That's right. I'm picturing all of it, like the drop ceilings, the like harsh lights,
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly right. Vox once again calls up Flux, and Flux meets you guys in like one of these interrogation rooms and says,
It's my understanding that you believe pretty damning evidence.
Yeah. We can go over very quickly what occurred. We went to the shipyard. We questioned the opals. Garnet Fox was present and can corroborate pretty much everything I'm going to say. We noticed a discrepancy in the stories. 2 people where there should have only been one. A courier for the Silverlight ship that delivered the shipment later found in Diamond Drikt's home. The courier was simultaneously seen in the shipyard by the opals and was escorted at the same time by Garnet Vox from the middle of the city, not too far from Diamond Drikt's home, back to the shipyard. While investigating that area, we found what we believe to be the murder weapon used by one of these two unidentified people who honestly we believe to have committed the murder, in which case they are unfortunately off planet. In terms of what we believe, the order of events were for the murder, this courier, presumably not working directly for Civilite Systems, perhaps somebody who, took a pilot's uniform, went on the ship, we can only guess at that, arrived with the sealed box. We believe that there was the actual assailant inside of the box, perhaps a psychic who is capable of putting up a pressure field to keep them alive inside of the sealed box. Garnet Vox unknowingly delivered the shipment to Diamond Drikt's home. The assailant broke themselves out of the box, which can be seen through markings inside of the box. Snuck up on Diamond Drikt, administered the truth serum. Diamond Drikt began crystallization to prevent any form of questioning. I don't know what the line of questioning was there. And the assailant then used the murder weapon to kill Drikt. The murderer then walked the street, ditched the murder weapon, returned to the shipyard, and flew away.
And at that, Flux takes quite a while to respond and says,
So we had them. They were in the shipyard and left the same day before we even knew what had happened, before we even caught Mr. LeBeau over there.
Yes. Yeah. A sign of a planned activity, a planned murder, a well-planned murder.
and Flux again kind of just leans back in their chair and says,
All right. I don't see how we can hold Mr. LeBeau any longer.
Damn.
I would, however, like to be able to, at the very least, fine him for breaking and entering.
Yeah, absolutely. It only makes
Take
sense.
all of his money.
But we'll obtain some more information about this.
as they kind of like look over the notes that they were taking as you were writing this.
Sept and see if we can follow up on who they might be, and then follow up with Silverlight Systems and see if they have any recollection or understanding of who these individuals are. Although, as you were saying, Silverlight Systems either knows who they are and won't say, or doesn't know who they are and would really only be able to give us information as to the hijacked courier. What a loss. I'm sorry. If you can give me a moment, I will take my leave.
Of course.
And at that,
You're free to go, we say as we continue sitting at the interrogation table.
and
Maybe we should leave. I'm not.
at that, before they leave, they turn to Vox and says,
Give them whatever they want. You are free to stay here as long as you like. I'm very willing to give you, some of the information that Drikt had obtained over the years, as I'm aware that is the original intent of your visit here.
Of course, yeah. We can discuss all of that later.
I would appreciate it if you still could keep this a bit on the down low. I would like to be able to break this to the rest of the Crystal Keepers myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
and they leave.
Another mystery solved.
And Vox is kind of speaks up and says,
So, I guess we'll let the boy out then.
If you
Pronounce
must.
LeBeau.
Le boy.
Le boy.
I think it does mean the boy.
Yeah, so
Actually, I think it means like the handsome.
Yeah, he's just a pretty little man.
What a bastard.
he didn't choose his last name. I did. So you guys are escorted by Vox once more to the holding cell that Tony is in. And again, very similar position that he was in again, sitting on the ground, knees kind of up around his ears, tapping his head against the back wall. And he hears you guys approach and says, Is this it? Is this how it goes? Do I at least get my phone call? I'd really like my phone call, please.
Scrooge.
Are we gonna do this again?
Scrooge.
Who am I visiting this time?
We realized, fuck, dude, I don't know.
And at
No,
that,
we're good. Yeah.
Vox opens up the door at that and opens it and says, "They figured it out. Although you're gonna have to give us 500 credits of a fine before we let you go." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's
That's
that." And
it.
it's like,
Bad news is you're free to go.
and then he walks out to you guys, and at that, Vox kind of like excuses himself
Yeah.
from the group. I would like to hug someone right now. Who is the best person to hug here? Alex, is that you? Can I hug you?
Nose goes.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Yeah, I would hate that, you know.
All right. And Claire goes, I think it might be me. And then he goes over and gives her a big hug.
Don't
let
take her
him steal your
powers. Don't take her
powers.
powers again.
I'm not doing that right now. All right. Thank you.
Sorry, we don't know how it works.
No,
All
we
right.
do.
Okay. I don't know what voodoo magic that you guys did to get me out, but thank you a lot. What happened? What's going on?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It seems like you did not kill that guy.
I that's what I was saying from day one.
Eh,
Guy
Yeah.
only broke into his house.
that's right.
That's right. I admitted to the crime that I committed, and
you paid your fine.
And I paid my fine, and I'm not going to do that again. Although, did you happen to, find something in order to go into Neo Opus? It could be very useful, to venture in. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to.
We
have a
shouldn't
beacon.
talk about this in the middle of the
Right.
station.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool.
Back to the ship.
Cool. All right. I would like to go into Neo Opus. That hasn't changed.
I literally just said.
No,
we
right,
talked about
fine,
this.
but
yeah.
I
When
fine,
they
let's
learn
get back to the
to-
shipyard. I don't really.
You
I
can
just
go
like,
on our ship. Are you okay with
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Fuck. Okay, fine.
All right.
Let's go on our ship.
Yeah, we're gonna go
Cool.
on our
Have
ship
to
to the kitchen. We'll go
deep
back to the
clean it
kitchen.
afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
we're doing another one where we do like a scene wipe, and now
Yeah.
you guys are in the
Well,
kitchen.
we really should not be discussing this
That's
in
completely
this
fair.
location. I think that's fair.
completely fair.
Yeah.
So you guys return. Although when you guys return, you would have been, approached by a couple of Torques who
Yeah.
are like, Decky, I would like to access to your engines from the inside.
That's right.
All right. So
Why
are
don't
you
we
going
just-
to do all of these things at the same time?
I
or
figure so the big thing, the actual thing that's going on here, to peer behind the curtain a little bit, is I don't want them to find Tara because I'm pretty sure
uh-huh.
Tara's gonna murder everybody.
Yeah.
So if I can chill and exist in the cargo hold and make sure that they don't go in the smuggler's hold, then like I'm good, right? I don't actually have to watch everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could like hang out and have this conversation and they could go elsewhere or like, I don't know, completely up to you. But if we can do them both at the same time, cool.
All right.
If
yeah.
not, then I'm gonna hang around a bit because I'm a robot and I have infinite patience.
Yes. No. I'm aware. I think they would have to do some things around some paneling. You wouldn't necessarily be terrified of them finding the smuggler's hold,
but it's a non-zero chance.
Are you aware of what is it? It's called Pascal's wager? The thing that there's a little tiny chance for it to happen, but if it happens, it's infinitely bad.
Yeah,
That's roughly what we're worried about here.
I'm fully aware. So you are praying to your deity that this does not happen.
That's right. Well, I feel like I'm like they can mess around in paneling and stuff, but like
So you overwatch them,
Exactly.
and you guys probably everyone else hangs out with Tony a little bit as you wait for some of the work to happen. It only takes 30 minutes to an hour, but eventually the Torques say like, "Yep, we're good on the inside here. We might need to get back in there again in a bit. We'll let you know." And they make their
Sounds
way
good.
out.
Okay, great.
talking.
Now we can talk about things.
I would like to go into Neo Opus and find that information that we were trying to figure out about, those other metadimensional strands, the one that is sitting inside Claire over there, the one that I'm pretty sure is sitting inside me. Also, how's the best way to say this? I have like a sense presence, and there's a
Like in D&D?
It's like a spell.
no, like I can feel the flow of metadimensional energy.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you-
I'm aware of what that is. Yes.
So I shouldn't. Okay.
Do not
Nona's
touch
just
it.
like Nona is turning.
Do not touch it. Do not acknowledge it. Do not interact with it. Bad things will happen.
Okay, that is a little unsettling, but all right.
Good.
came into our
Be
house.
afraid.
I'm
Only
just saying.
we're a
I
little unsettling.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys
That's
were
fine.
aware of the thing that I was feeling, and
Oh,
it seems
okay.
like you
How
are
many-
aware.
How many like people on the ship right now?
And he takes a moment. He's like, "Well, people is define
Wow.
people.
Yeah,
Wow.
sure.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a
Any-
dog here.
Any
That's right.
Wharf. How many flows of metadimensional energy am I holding up?
Hold on. Now Jeff has to count.
That's right.
Inclu-
Don't forget Leggett.
including myself.
Yes.
Sure.
So regular humans also have a little bit of a small flow, but I can tell the difference. So there's. I'm going to have to pause here as I
I
do
mean,
the
Yeah,
It's
count.
count
okay.
them
It's okay. Does he give the right answer, whatever it is?
But I'm actually curious now because I think there's a lot of people on this ship.
There are a lot of
There's the
people on
three
the
of
ship
you.
right now.
There's
Yeah.
Claire. There's Leggett.
There's Tony.
There's Tony, and then there's Tara.
Yep.
That should be it, I think.
Cool.
Or is there?
Because I don't think EDI
EDI
or
No, EDI
Argos
and
would.
Argos would not trip
because
that.
they're both like
Don't
either
they-
VI or
Don't they like produce some? Because they like I can't affect VIs with my telekinesis. Isn't that a thing?
Oh, all right. Then he can also count, Argos and EDI
'Cause they're
246 then.
yeah.
So that
Does he get
9.
This is
Nine?
What about the bots?
This might be
No. The
No.
box are expert systems.
Oh, they're actually
Yeah.
This
okay.
might be spoilery, but do you get anything from the memory seeds?
Oh,
If we have any on the ship, are there any there?
Hmm.
Is there anything
I'm
there?
pretty confident.
He says 9.
Okay, he says 9.
I'm pretty confident that the memory seed is what we in fact have in the ring.
Okay.
We were told it was on Glazov 5. We
a
found
mind
the
seed.
ring. Sorry, yes, mind seed. We found the ring on Glazov 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Cool.
confident in that.
The answer was just my middle finger. you bitch.
Okay. No, does
I'm
a
kidding.
quick count in her head because she's apparently better at counting than Tony and says, yes, that should be right. That all tracks.
Better
People-
at counting than Jeff.
Are accounted for.
Okay.
No secret stowaways here. No Sri Bob.
Yeah. No, we have to put that one in the fish.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just
But
gonna
we do know it's-
ignore.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna ignore that one.
Yeah.
then.
And do not touch it.
Oh, understood. I don't know that it exists. As far as I know, there's only 8. How about that? You good?
Love that. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
So you want to go to Newark City?
I think it's called Neo Opus.
It's the same. It means the same thing.
Oh, okay.
New
I
York
mean-
City. Love that.
So in the short term,
Newark.
I think that's also our next stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. We doing that as like a joint thing or
If we must.
Do you smoke?
Occasionally.
Cool. That's.
Do you want one?
No, I'm gonna quit now. No, that's great. Yeah, and I think we have a way in as well. So that's the short term.
So you found like a map, right? Like a way to. So here's what I know about Neopus and basically the entirety of Dimos, right? Nanite fields, right? Eat your flesh and your entire body until you no longer exist. But there's some people that do exist that are chock full of nanites.
I hate that.
Yeah. I don't know what else to call them other than nanite zombies. That seems like the best way to call
Awesome.
it. And so it's not just the nanites you have to worry about, but sometimes, nanites inhabiting a dead body, kind of reanimating it, And so
Why would they do that?
That was not in the
seems
fauna
entirely-
guide.
I do think the
entirely
nanites are
unnecessary.
malfunctioning to begin with. Let's be honest here. And so, yeah, that is a thing. But there are spaces that theoretically you could trace, and I'm aware that Drikt has a map of places to avoid, that might have a lot of these things. And so, have you gotten that? Also, I'd like to get my sword back.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
left it there
No,
because
that's
we
fair.
figured emerging from the murder scene with a
With a sword. Not
that
ideal.
belonged to you would not be the best plan. I'm still not 100% sure that it is, because if we go back out there, we're going to get an escort again, especially if you're going back to the place you tried to rob.
But it's a nice sword. Hey,
What
kind of sword was it?
No. Flux. I wasn't there in that scene.
Yeah, that's right.
Flux said that we could have anything in Drikt's abode because no one would want to go there, right?
Yeah. I guess we could.
Okay.
Do that.
Loot the place because
Go.
they don't mind, sure, and
Back and
get your
get
sword
your
back.
sword.
What's it worth
Ma-
to you?
Are you using the really big sword that lady had? That
Oh no, I just
that,
like having
went
it as a
crazy?
trophy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not good at swinging swords.
It's pretty awesome though, but also
That's
I think
pretty
it's
sick.
too big for a person. I think she specifically had longer arms
Yeah,
and
no.
legs, and
It's like twice the size of my body or something.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
it's a good anime sword.
It's a Sephiroth sword.
Yes, it is.
Now
Amazing.
we have an even fucking sicker sword, so you can have your shitty.
It's
that
mounted
sword
on the
back.
wall in my bedroom.
Amazing. Okay.
What-
Yes. Well.
You'd cut a hole in the wall so it could keep
It's a
going.
little bit longer than that.
Yeah, it's a really dangerous hallway right in front of.
into Noda's room as well.
Nona's not using it.
you don't
That's
mind,
right. That's right. I don't. Okay. Cool. So I guess we go do that.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys go back to Drikt's abode. You are escorted by Vox once more.
Cool.
He doesn't have anything better to do at the moment, unfortunately.
Mm.
And yeah, Tony obtains his sword. Is there anything else that you guys kind of want to look at? I don't
so.
think that there is.
Do you want
guys
more?
went
Do
pretty
you want more of the
thoroughly.
AI juice?
Yeah, I was just thinking if we're potentially going to that laboratory.
I don't know.
Okay, we can always come back for
yeah.
it, or we can ask them to move the shipment onto our crate, onto our ship or something.
Yeah. I guess we should take it.
Yeah, that's kind of a distressing
Yeah.
thing there.
Can I turn the Drikt VI off? Can I just turn our speaker off so it can't hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Okay. Listen, it said it wanted to make more true AIs. I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can
Follow.
take it so nobody else does, but yeah, we can talk more later.
That's good then, yeah. I also, want to keep it away from our companion
Yes.
until we decide that we want them to meet, if we want them to meet. But yeah, we can talk about all of that later.
Yes, would have some things to. I do want. I'm very aware of your feelings, Nona, but I would wish to talk more about that particular situation.
Yes. They want to make true AIs and then erase them to replace them with people's memories?
I would have to investigate the particular information that is in Drikt's lab, but it was seeming to imply that the mind seed would be a part of the core itself before flooding it with metadimensional energy. Theoretically, without the mind seed, that could be a true AI. But adding the mind seed to it would just charge it with certain memories. We get into very specific philosophical conversations.
Be very, very careful here, buddy.
Around what is a person and
If you teleport,
if you teleport, is the same person, is a copy of the person the same
if you rip
person?
Theseus apart and replace him with cybernetics, is it still Theseus?
But
the cyborg of Theseus, I like that.
I understand your concern, Nona, and we can absolutely talk more about this. And if you want, at length, we can do that right now. But I think this task was given to me. The only reason why we have the information for this lab is he's asking me to do this for him. He died for this. And
I almost died for this.
I understand. It could theoretically be something. It could be anything. No, it could be you. It could be it could be like that. It is in its essence what is being described here, the spark of something new. And when someone creates something new, if there were some memories already a part of that, wouldn't what came out of it be that spark still? It's not as if, no, we are turning this being on and then killing it and replacing it with something else. It wouldn't be anything other than what it was created. The philosophical nature of this question is, I don't know, not one to take lightly, and there's certainly conversations that can be had any particular way. But at the very least, I
thought you wanted to make a true AI to have there be more of us, not to bring back people who've died.
I want to do both. I will say my goal first and foremost was to. This is a question that hasn't been answered. We don't understand it. Creating such a being as yourself, in and of itself, poses so many questions about what it means to be, not just be human, but be what it means to exist. But this information that Drikt is giving us right now, he's hoping that we do something with it. And it seems disrespectful to him to move forward with it and not do anything with his wishes. It took me months to build up a relationship with the man that no longer exists. He's not even asking for himself to be brought back in some way, but he's bringing it. Think of I learned very little about of Dr. Reed, but I understand that you have some familiarity with him. But his time with Dr. Samantha Calvin was cut short. Don't you want an opportunity for? I don't know. Isn't that a good thing to reunite them in some way?
Maybe. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of the woman who repeatedly seems to have created my kind and then abandoned them. Everywhere I look, I see these stories over and over again. They build true AIs, and then when we no longer serve a purpose, or VIs even, EDI 246 was left alone in the dark in a cave. She left and she didn't even think twice about it. We are considered to be tools by these people. And I don't like that. So I don't really feel a motivation to bring this individual back to life. Even if she did create me, which I'm grateful for, I don't feel good about bringing her back to life and then making her immortal. What then? What happens to me? What happens to everybody else? She scares me.
I understand. It's not an easy question to answer. I know firsthand grief can make people do awful things. And that's not necessarily a way to excuse any of the things that she did.
Now, Nona's not going to say this out loud because I don't actually think Dr. Leggett is aware of Quinn's existence. I don't think I've told him yet. But, like, I'm thinking back on that whole I'll be back conversation that they had. And that she went from, 5 to 10 different iterations and never once went back for her. That's pretty much it. We can take these so no one else can use them, and I guess we'll keep them around on the ship.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that there was really a resolution there, but yeah, I don't know if there's anything more to really say.
No, not really. Yeah, well, I guess we'll decide when we get there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll hold on to these jars for now. Maybe want to keep them in a different room from Tara. I don't know why. It's not like she can do anything with them. It just feels weird.
No, that's right. That is right. We will keep these things as far apart from each other as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Got that. Got the boy his sword back, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. So you guys you're prepping to go into the Neo Opus then, right? Tony does not have like one of these packs that would
Like the suits, or do we need a different thing? I can't remember.
So I think I previously described this, but there are periodically these like beacons that repel the nanite field. It is they are sporadically laid out throughout Jemena, and they're kind of like holding this fog of nanites back. Obviously, Drikt was somehow able to move himself through this nanite field without, getting torn apart. So there is theoretically some way to kind of navigate that. But I don't know if you guys have been explicitly told how that works.
No, I don't think we know either. But Tony also just wanted the map. Tony did not seem to be particularly concerned about this. So I was kind of assuming that was what he was going to bring to the table.
Oh, yeah. The Torques, they have these, they sometimes go into the aversion fields. And this is something that, there are other cities on Dimos. There are smaller, compact, beacons that one can wear on their back. They're kind of heavy and unwieldy, but they keep the field, about 15 meters away from you at all times, until the battery runs out, which, should generally be more than 6 hours, 10 hours.
Oh, I hate that.
Yep. Why you need the map. Go in, get out before, it goes away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we have potentially a map. We need to actually look through it and maybe devote a little bit more time than just kind of trusting it and actually studying it, making sure that we're good to go. But we do have it. And then once we're there,
Where do we get the beacons from? Do we buy them from someone?
Well, buying is is a choice. I was
You literally were just
Go back
thrown
to
in
jail.
jail
well. So
for stealing.
I will say this was before I was caught. That was the plan. Now perhaps we could rent one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Can we get 2?
How much do these go for?
Don't know. I haven't asked to rent one. I was planning to. And he kind of like rolls his eyes, like not
You
rent
just
one.
came to this planet to just steal stuff from everybody.
No,
What kind of
I
gentleman
was
to steal
willing
stuff
to
from everybody?
pay to an extent, but I was also very aware that it was very possible that they wouldn't want to give that stuff, and I needed to, take the initiative.
You're a terrible mailman.
Rude. I get the job done.
No, you don't.
Well,
As we can see.
fine. And he kind of leaves the conversation in a huff.
Is that too mean?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, I think you were in the right there, Nona.
Okay, so fine. I guess we've got to find someone who might rent us one of these things.
Cool.
Do you think
There's not.
they're gonna have them here?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a
ask.
marketplace or anything, or I don't know. They kind of hate technology, but
We could
he seems to think he could steal.
the VI where they got theirs.
Yeah, that's fair.
True enough, Claire.
Absolutely.
Toss that back on.
Hello.
Oh
Hi.
God.
If you're seeing this, I, Drikt, am dead.
Hold on. Does he start with boo?
Boom!
Thank you.
Anyway.
Great. Press A to skip dialogue.
Dialogue skips.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's
Hey, Drikt. VI, you. Where did you get the anti-nanite field beacon that you used for traveling around?
Oh, I stole one from the reserves.
Oh, sick. Okay, everyone's doing that. Huh? Where did you put it?
Near the outskirts of the town, and they give you pretty direct directions. There's a little power station that I've jimmied to keep it charged up. So it's just one, but it's there under some bushes.
we're all gonna die.
Great. That will be all.
Goodbye.
As he goes away.
So I'm actually intrigued. Is this just because this VI seems to have a very specific purpose? Is it like just on always, or do we have to like wake word it and only interact with it when it's
I think that there's an on-off switch. Generally, it would always be on and be powered by like the like the chemical reactions within a body.
sure?
So you probably need to occasionally charge it up since it would.
What are we talking? USB-C, Thunderbolt?
Eh,
Put it in your
it's
eye.
fine. You just put it in your eye.
Stick it in there.
Stick it in there.
That would be fun.
Yeah, you can
Sure.
charge it up, but there's an on-off switch. You can
Okay.
turn it on and off at will, I would say.
I think I'm gonna mostly leave it off.
I think that makes sense. Just let me know when you want to answer.
Yeah, and then we'll
answer a
just like
question.
address questions specifically to it, and then we can turn it on.
Yep.
I don't like it. It reminds me of my potential fate too much.
Actually, one other thing. Can you make an in-program check for me, please?
Ooh, yes. Come on, dice. No. Actually, that's not terrible. And program. Oh, I upped program last time. Oh, we're fine. Maybe. That is 9.
Okay. So one of the things that you've noticed with interacting with this particular device is that your understanding of what like a VI chip requires doesn't really seem to be in this particular apparatus,
Sure.
the best way to describe it. And due to this, there are some stabilizers of like the personality and knowledge
Uh-huh.
that don't seem to be present here. And you would expect that there is a good chance of, there's a lot higher chance of corruption with this particular personality, chip than other VIs.
Gotcha.
And so you would expect that this should work for the next couple of days, heck, maybe even a little bit longer. But you would expect after that period of time, it would maybe start deteriorating. And probably the longer, the more questions that it asks, it speeds up that process.
Gotcha.
If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. That's a fun mechanic.
It's kind of like a one-time use, like, hey, I can give you some answers about this dead guy, but it kind of slowly deteriorates over time.
Okay. Was that caused by me taking it from the body, or was this a...
This was always going to happen.
Okay.
You can't necessarily, like, there's a low power mode, so it could have theoretically like laid dormant for quite a while.
Sure.
But as soon as you start interacting with
questions.
it, like that battery just kind of starts to drain effectively.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Let's try and track down this machine at the edge of town.
Let's do that.
So yeah, head out in, I guess, the direction that VI said it was stored under a bush.
Do we have any specific stuff? I don't know if we're on the ship. Do we want to do any sort of prep for this? Do we want to just assume we do that off screen?
Are we heading out just right from there, walking into the...
I have no idea. I was assuming
waves?
Because as soon as we unplug it from the thing, that timer's going to start counting down. So we could go confirm it was there and not take it.
Yeah.
But I was sort of envisioning you go there, you unplug it, the timer starts, and then you just kind of got to go.
Yeah. Assuming that where it's found is roughly in the right direction for where we would want to set out to get to.
It is because it's
going to the same place.
The same place that Drikt would have gone.
True enough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need too much to carry with us.
I've
Probably
got
best to travel
just
light.
a lot of shit on me.
Yeah,
that I would like to offload onto the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get rid of that. Do we still want me to be carrying around the wide awake serum? Nobody's intending to sleep right now, are they?
Hopefully we're not caught out there needing to sleep.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna leave that on the ship for now. We can also keep going while I sort of do this if you want, unless you want it all.
I mean, sure. I'm going off of what you guys do next. So it sounds like you guys want to head out.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that you want to get from Jimena or talk to any of the Torque there. You don't want to obtain another backpack or try and investigate how much that would cost.
I think that's right. I think we're intending to just... I'd love to have a second one. But if it's not going to be charged or how that's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, also Drikt is high up in this hierarchy. If you had to steal it from some reserve, doesn't sound like great chances we can just get one.
Yeah,
normally.
I'm worried about calling attention to the fact that we want one and the fact that that's what we're doing.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to head out just with Drikt's backpack. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. I think we're all going to die, but I think that's the correct move.
All right, so you guys make your way to the coordinates that was given to you by Drikt's VI. You notice that as you continue along, the various buildings that seem to be in this crystalline structure and utilized by Torque seem to get lower and lower until you seem to be near the outskirts of the city. You do notice, however, there are still these beacons that do kind of pepper the or they do appear to be in some kind of pattern. They're pretty regularly spaced out. They're fairly tall, probably about a little taller than a person, but shorter than a street light, and probably about as wide as a person. So, similar to Quinn in size, maybe a little bit taller.
Yeah.
And you do hear a hum from each one of them as you pass them by until eventually you get to kind of a ring of them that act as kind of the outskirts of the town. And nearby one of these, the VI Drikt pointed out to you, is some bushes, which you go through and you notice that the power source that was powering these beacons seems to have been what's the right word, spliced and connected into a charging pack for a backpack. This backpack looks, the head of it, like the top of it, seemed very similar to the top of these various beacons. And you notice as you look out towards what lies outside of the city, what normally has been, pretty clear space starts to get darker and murkier, almost like there's like a black gray cloud.
Is it robots?
I mean, it is nanites. We know this. And it is a little almost mesmerizing, like as the wind kind of pushes through them. You can see the wind as it kind of whirls around and everything in there. It almost seems like a swirling filter on top of everything once you get a certain distance outside of these beacons. Who is going to put on this backpack? As Micah picks it up, she notices that it is quite dense. It's quite heavy, and it seems like it would kind of affect how someone might hold themselves. You would expect that it would maybe give you a -2 to attack and -2 on skill checks that require physical attributes.
Make Leggett do it. He's useless anyway.
This thing is bulky. I mean, I was thinking
we were already gonna like protect him.
That's true. I was thinking that I could commit some levitation to it to make it easier on whoever's carrying it. We could also just make Tony do it, but he's sometimes useful. I guess.
Yeah, are we actually taking Leggett with us? This feels like maybe a bad plan.
Well,
he also got a Neo.
On one
That was kind of
hand,
the
I
thing.
very much would like to see all of this information and data. On the other hand, I am terrified of dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that how it goes?
That's
life,
always
baby.
how it goes. I think in this particular case, if I die, I'm no longer in debt.
Isn't
Grim.
Oh, Jeff, that one hurts. Buddy, that one. You say such pretty things.
All right, so Dr. Leggett gets the backpack.
Yeah, I can help you out with it until if anything gets thorny out there, you might need to carry that full weight.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I can take it, and if anything happens to me, I can always just kind of bandage myself up.
Assuming you don't get knocked out.
Yeah,
dead.
always. I mean, like anybody can kind of get knocked out, but they get up again.
That is right.
And I'm very good at getting up again.
Okay. I'm fine with either of those.
I
don't
would
have
rather
something.
not carry the backpack. It seems quite heavy.
All right, if you want to take it.
Why are you even?
I'll take it.
I'm kidding.
Because I want to. We can look over the,
Because I
the
have to do
important information.
science.
And
The science.
And Drikt
Anyway.
asked him to.
Drikt did ask me to.
And I loved him.
I glare at that.
Finally.
Not like at Leggett, but just like, sometimes you hear something you don't want to hear and your eyes just go, Anyway, let's do this thing.
I think Nona and I are fighting, and I don't know how to handle it. And he just directs this directly at Micah out of earshot. And I'm not entirely sure you know how to handle it, but it doesn't feel right because I think that she was the one that I was the closest with, and now I don't know which one of you
we're
I
not
need to
friends.
make. Can I count on you to try and prevent me from? Oh, you did prevent me from dying that one time.
That's
Can I
right.
continue on that?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do that.
I don't have any money to give you.
Okay. We're kind of doing this thing together at this point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
fine. I'll reach up and pat him on his head. Like
Cute.
you're fine.
Yeah. And so you guys start making your way out. So it's Alex that is putting this on.
Mhm.
And so Alex, you put on this backpack, quite heavy. Remember, -2 to attack, -2 to any skill checks that are physical. And you guys turn as you unplug it from the beacon that it was attached to. You hear a hum start to go from this backpack, and Alex, you actually feel it kind of like vibrating against you.
Oh.
And you notice that on the strap next to you, you get a readout of the battery, and it is 100%. It's full.
That's going to be a stressful thing to look at
Oh
later.
my God. I know. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
And you guys start to make your way towards this fog, all trying to remain close to Alex. Are you walking?
I mean, we've got my car. We could take my car.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if my car can fit everybody.
All right, you guys are walking.
Okay, cool.
That's going to make it take quite a bit longer, isn't
I mean, Drikt could theoretically walk to and from this place and get
Visibility
some,
isn't
some
great.
work
So
done.
we do have one bike. How many people we counted? There was 8 people. 7.
The
Seven?
people that are
5,
coming
6.
on this trip are the 3 of you.
Uh-huh.
You've got Claire,
Claire.
you've got Leggett, and you've got Tony. So there's
Yeah.
a total of 6 of you.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this to myself
Yeah.
once more.
We can actually then 4 people can fit in the car, and then we also do still have a hover bike, so we could drive, which seems cool. But I also don't know if we can stay close enough together as 2 vehicles. Up to you.
It's
Visibility isn't great out
15
there.
meters that you have to be within with
That's
Alex.
yeah,
That's not a lot. 15 meters is 15 yards.
yeah, which
Mhm.
is roughly
Just
45 feet.
Yeah. So if one of you hits something and then the other one keeps going,
That's right. I was
Maybe it's
thinking
best to
like
stay
we
together.
could. Okay, that's fine. We'll walk.
yeah. Like
We could theoretically drive. Is all
40,
I'm saying.
45 feet, it's not nothing, but also if you're going like 20 miles an hour or like 25 miles an hour and then someone stops and the
Yeah.
other one doesn't, there are problems, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can we fit 5 people in the car? That could be on the roof.
I love vehicles so much.
I also feel like that would hurt.
Like, real bad.
I'm just going to say you guys are walking.
Okay, fine.
Unless
We're
you guys
going
want
like-
to try and do
Why
this.
No,
would
go
you
like
ask
40
this
miles an
question? We were assuming we were gonna walk, and then you brought up the
Yeah,
possibilities
I was
only to dash
I
our
was
hope to
thinking
pieces.
about
There's
it.
like
Fine, you
tiny
can
metal shreds.
You can
Like,
take the
that are just like-
ATV. There is like a little cart, don't you guys have? You can just put someone in the cart.
Oh, the golf cart?
fine.
Yeah. Well, it's
No,
the
the
ATV
ATV
and
is
it
the
has,
golf cart.
has a
No, no.
cart.
Yeah,
after it.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You guys are taking the ATV.
Woo.
Tony can send the
Finally, the wagon.
I love that.
And as you guys start to pull out into this shifting gray black mist, it seems to get closer and closer and closer until you notice that it doesn't get closer anymore. And you look to the sides of you and you notice that the space behind you, the mist starts to pour in behind you as you notice that you are now surrounded by this mist, heading into the city of Neo-Opus. You take the highway and you notice as you pull out into this road, the road that you were taking, it was originally just this asphalt that was broken up in places that had weeds growing out of it. And as you pull out into this mist, you notice that the asphalt completely and utterly clean, not even a pothole in sight, not a single crack. And as you keep driving, you can't help but notice that the highway that you're driving upon looks pristine. You go along the highway for a couple of minutes until you notice over the horizon that various buildings stand ghost-like because they are pristine, beautiful. In fact, you can almost see the reflection of, the rest of the city off of the windows on some of the sky rises.
Could I shoot the ground
Yeah.
with like my laser rifle? Because
Yes.
we're on a different planet where that's no longer a problem.
Yeah, it's no longer a problem. You
Yeah.
shoot the ground and, the normal like shrapnel and like there's a little bit of a crater, some
Uh-huh.
scorch marks.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in the span of like a blink of an eye, the scorch mark is gone.
Yeah,
and
that's
the little
cool.
hole is patched over once more.
We're gonna get turned into road, yo.
And as you guys approach the beautiful but eerily silent Neo-Opus, we will get to the rest of that next time. Wow!
Their infrastructure is incredible.
It really is. It's self-repairing infrastructure. Too bad it also erases human humanity off the face of the earth.
Well, pros and cons.
Yeah, really. Does that mean no potholes?
Yeah, that's where my tax dollars going.